Hey everybody, Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com. If you're hearing any weird background noise that sounds like static, it is downpouring here at the gym right now, and we have a metal roof. It's 25 feet up, but it still makes a pretty big echo. So if you're hearing anything that sounds like static, that's what it is. But real quick, I wanted to talk to you about the last day of this 3-week training block. This is the last day. It's our leftover workout. It's all the stuff that I did not do earlier this week. We're gonna pack it into today's workout just like we've done the past 2 weeks. So this is the last day that I'm gonna be filming of this 3-week training block. From here on out, we're just gonna be explaining how you can kind of incorporate some things into your workout to keep this going to help you get back into the gym. Because that's the whole name of the game here. You've been out of the gym for a while, you haven't been able to get in and be training, we've all been quarantined. So when the gyms do open up, how do you start back up? You haven't worked out in 8, 9, 10 weeks, whatever it's been. How do you start right back up? This is a great strategy to do just that. So let's talk about real quick what we did the first 2 weeks and how we're gonna make it harder this week. So the first week we did a superset of kettlebell overhead presses and barbell curls. We started with the 8 kilo, we worked out to a 24 kilo, all sets of 10. When you do the math, that's 800 kilograms total that was lifted per arm. Barbell curls, started with an empty bar, worked up to 85, sets of 10, and again, did it as a superset. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with very little rest. On week 2, we did the same exact movements, but we increased the weight and we decreased the repetitions. So we started instead with the 12 kilo, worked up to 28. And that was tough. That was probably my 8 rep max, if there was such a thing. I don't think I could have squeaked out another repetition with that 28 kilo kettlebell. Barbell curls, these weren't as bad. They were a little bit heavier, but not as bad. We did sets of 8 to try to conserve energy for that last one. So what do we do today? What's today gonna look like? Well, we're gonna do kettlebell overhead presses again. We're gonna do barbell curls again. But instead, we're going to add more sets. So there's gonna be 1 additional set for each one of those exercises. So it's gonna be 6 sets. But instead of trying to go heavier, again, that's not the goal. The goal for me on this day is not to go crazy, crazy heavy and re-injure my shoulder. I wanna add more volume. I wanna add a little bit more work to try to put on some size and try to make sure that my shoulder stays nice and healthy. So we're gonna start off with that 8 kilogram again. And we're gonna stick with sets of 8, working up to a 28 kilo. Now, I'm gonna try my hardest to get 8 with that 28 kilo kettlebell. It was really hard last week with only doing 5 sets. I don't think the extra set with the 8 kilo is really gonna fatigue me that much, but if I only end up getting 6, or if I only end up getting 5 or 7 or whatever, I'm gonna be happy with that because I know more sets has equal to more, if you look right here, more total overall volume. The first week was 800 kilograms. Second week was also 800 kilograms. So this week I know just by adding that extra set, I'm gonna get the extra weight, the extra kilograms on there. Okay? Same thing with the barbell curls. Starting with 45, I did that for 10 during week 1. So I know starting with 8, I'm gonna be able to work up. Now, 95 is gonna be a little bit heavier than last week. Am I gonna be able to do it? Yeah. Am I gonna get 8? I don't really know. We're gonna try our hardest though. So no matter what, we're going for broke. It's the last day of our 3rd week. It's the last one of this whole deal. So we're gonna go for broke. We're gonna try to break records, try to do more work. Same kind of thing here, lateral raises. I'm stuck with the 15-pound dumbbells. The 20s and the 25s, I gave those to members for home workouts. I just don't have any. So every week we've made the movement harder. The first week we just did regular lateral raises. Last week we did lateral raises with a pause at the top, holding it at the top. This week we're gonna hold and we're gonna alternate right arm and left arm. So it's gonna be longer, more time under tension, more difficult movement because we have to use the same weight. Same thing here with the alternating dumbbell curls. I did not increase last week because all the additional from up here made those feel a lot harder. Well, all the additional from up here are gonna make those feel a lot harder. So I'm gonna keep the weight exactly the same. Finally, face pulls. We're doing 100 repetitions of face pulls and 100 repetitions of tricep press downs. The first week, use the black band. Last week, I used that Elite FTS green band. This week, I'm gonna use a green band and that super skinny orange band as well to increase the band tension just a little bit more. So we're gonna use a little bit more band on each of those. And we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm hoping everything works out well. I am a little bit tired. I am a little bit sore from yesterday's deadlift workout, which was a really tough workout. I'm feeling it today. We'll see how I do as I go through this. I'm going to be filming all of it for you. I'm going to do the voiceover like normal, and I will check in with you after that to let you know how everything went. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. This is our second to last set. This is the 24 kilo kettlebell. Doing 8 on the right, 8 on the left, and then on the bar is 85 pounds. So I realize these sets do take a while. Kind of like last week, I timed it with the stopwatch. So there is a good amount of rest between when I kind of put down the right kettlebell and then pick it up again on my next set. Looking at about 2.5 minutes or so between when I kind of finish one thing up and then have to put more weight on the bar and then grab a quick drink and then go back over to the kettlebell again to do the heavier set, about 2.5 minutes. So these are longer sets. You are doing a lot of work right in a row, 8 on the left, 8 on the right, and then 8 curls, 24 repetitions in about maybe a minute and a half of work by the time you walk over and kind of grab it and get going. So this is, again, second to last set. Again, with these, the form and technique, the repetitions are never going to look really strict or really perfect with me doing a straight barbell curl. You can see at the very bottom of the movement when my arms fully extend how my elbows twist. They kind of twist out and point toward the camera. That's not normal. That's just the way that my arms are built, and it's very awkward, very odd. And it's really tough for me to let the bar come down straight without a little bit of forward roll of my shoulder. It just can't happen with the way that my elbows have been beat up over the years. So that's why they look that way. I'm still getting a lot of feeling and tension and a lot of strain in the bicep when I do these. So this is the 28 kilo. The goal was to get 8 reps on each side, and I do achieve that, which is really nice. It's one of those things where I didn't know going in because of the extra set of the 8 kilo at the very beginning of this, how it was going to feel. It definitely felt, if not the same as last week, maybe a little bit heavier. Again, the total overall volume is going to work out to be more. The amount of sets and repetitions with the heavier weight is going to be the same. That's what you have to do. That's a tiny little micro progression, tiny little micro increment of toughness that's been added to this week from last week. But those small jumps are going to ensure that you're not going to get hurt and that you're always going to be able to make a big improvement. If I tried to jump up to a 32 kilo and do 6 reps or do 5 reps, it just wouldn't have been the same. And I don't want to go too heavy. I want to save my shoulders because my shoulders do, especially my right side, my right shoulder has been injured and has been hurting for a couple of years, 15 years at this point since I first heard it, like badly heard it and thought I would need surgery. So those kind of crushed me a little bit. And we're going on to, this is 95 pounds on the bar. It felt good to finally put a 25 on each side of the bar, to be quite honest. 25 pounds on each side of the bar, 95-pound bar for curls. That was something in the past that was such a normal thing for me. And since getting into coaching, since getting into powerlifting and competing, 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't really do a lot of arm work. I really took pride in having strong arms, a good grip. I did a lot of grip exercises, a lot of grip work. I really enjoyed grip training, and getting my arms stronger has been one of those little goals in the back of my head that I've been working towards this entire time that we've been back in the gym. So you're going to have sort of those little selfish kind of like, I want to be able to do this, or I want to be able to bench this, or I want to be able to squat that again. Totally normal, and that's kind of me with curls. So that set kind of crushed me. So when I went on to my next superset, this is those alternating lateral raises with a hold. I made a quick little change here. If you see, I'm bringing the dumbbell down to the side of my leg to kind of my hip. And then about halfway through, I decided in my head, like, let's see what it feels like when I bring it down in front of my body. So bigger range of motion all the way down in front. And that actually did not feel as good. This is where I start going right in front of my body. that did not feel as good. It felt like it was a lot of strain on sort of the front delt and like chest, bicep tendon kind of area right near the armpit. So I finished out doing them this way, but I didn't do them that way again for the rest. So this is actually, I should say, I think I said first set. This is my third set of those. You can see those are really tough. But that's what you have to do if you don't have a heavier dumbbell, or if you don't have something to bridge the gap between doing, the dumbbell you're currently using and jumping up to the next heavier dumbbell. You've got to find ways like time under tension, or different tricks or different angles, holding it a different way, that's going to make that dumbbell feel a little bit harder. So that's what that was all about there. And again, as the alternating dumbbell, just like last week, I stayed at the 30 pounds. In the back of my head, I kind of was thinking maybe I should do 35s, but doing the 30 pound was definitely the right choice. If I had done the 35s, again, this is the third set, and you can tell this is already kind of a little bit of a struggle. This is already hurting my arms because these sets overall are so long. When you're doing alternating work, like alternating kettlebell presses, the alternating dumbbell lateral raises, the alternating dumbbell curls, the workout takes twice as long. The movement takes twice as long because you're under tension for so long. So you can see that's why I'm not showing you all of my sets and reps. This is the fourth set of these. And you'll see by the end of this, like my shoulders are just completely smoked at the end of this. I was able to get all the repetitions that I wanted to get and do all the sets with the correct weight. But man, by the end of this, like you can see it on my face, by the end of this, it really tough. And I'm going to be feeling these tomorrow in my shoulders in a good way. There's no pain when I do these. Only certain things hurt my shoulders when I move a certain way, or when I sleep on my shoulder a certain way, or try to do certain odd movements, especially doing yard work and stuff. My shoulders start to hurt a little bit, but this feels totally okay. But man, you can see it at the end there. I was pretty exhausted. I was pretty tired. And that's why I knew going up to 35-pound dumbbells on the curls would have just been too much, because my arms at this point were really hurting and were really feeling that pump. And I hate that feeling. Bodybuilders always talk about chasing that pump and getting a good pump and flushing blood into the muscle and yada, yada, yada. I hate that feeling. I always feel like if I'm doing that, if I get to that point, I start thinking, oh my God, am I going to get injured? Am I going to get hurt? What's going to happen? Did I push too hard? Am I going to be too sore? Did I just re-injure myself? And you start getting all those thoughts in your head. So I really don't like that feeling. But every so often, it feels good to push yourself and to get there without overdoing it or straining anything. And you can see here at the end of these, I was hurting pretty good when we finished these up. And something coming up next too is I want to show you guys. So last week I used the green band when I was doing the tricep press downs and the face pulls. This week I used a green band and an orange band. So right here I'm going to show you, if you got the green band and you've got the orange band, if you put them right on top of each other, you can loop them through each other on top of a pull-up bar. And that's how we set up for our press downs and for our face pulls and other movements that we do, like our assisted pull-ups and things like that. That's how I loop them over. I kind of make that W shape. So that way you can grab and have a handle to hold on to. So this is the first set of 33. The other thing you can see is I'm trying to keep my hands far apart as that band will let me. But when you get tired, your hands end up touching and getting together. So the name of the game here was just get through it, finish these, get these done. It is a tricep movement. And besides that overhead press with the kettlebell, nothing really today was in any way targeted any type of pressing or any type of pushing. It was a lot of curls. It was a lot of lateral raises. This is going to be a little bit better on a day like today, simply because I hadn't kind of pre-exhausted my forearms. So I know going a little bit heavier, a little bit more band tension was going to be okay. This is where I was feeling it. So rear delts. Warm up, I do those eyes, Ys, and Ts like I showed you in week 1. And I do band pull-aparts. We did the lateral raises and now these face pulls. And man, these were tough. So these were killing me. I did 2 other sets after this and then called it a day. So hopefully you guys enjoy the voiceovers. Let me know if this is something you want me to continue doing. But right after this is done, we're going to go right back in. All right, so I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again today. That is exactly how the last couple of workouts on your third week of your 3-week wave should feel. That is on the money, exactly like how it should feel when you finish up and when you wrap up. So let's go through it. I got all 6 sets of 8 repetitions on the kettlebell overhead press. You saw the last 2 sets. The 28 kilo was very, very tough, just like it was last week. If I had to do more than 8, I probably could have maybe gotten 9 with really poor form. So sticking with 8, especially with the shoulder injury, I got all 6 sets of 8, which means I did 64 kilos more, 8 times 8, 64 kilos more per arm, which was more weight than last week and more weight than the week before. Barbell curls, I was able to get everything. The 95 for 8 was tough. I was using a little bit of body English there at the end. The reps weren't disgustingly bad, but they were, not perfect either. I was able to get the 95 pounds. I was able to get it 8. That was very tough, because I wasn't really taking a lot of rest in between. I was doing overhead press, barbell curl, 1 minute rest. Overhead press, barbell curl, 1 minute rest. A lot tougher than I thought it was going to be, but I was still able to get everything. I was still able to complete all of my sets, all of my repetitions at the weight that I wanted to do, and I don't think I could have done another set or more weight or anything like that. This is exactly right in my wheelhouse where I was supposed to be. The lateral raises, as you saw, were very tough. That alternating hold where you're pausing at the top, it was super hard. I haven't done those in years. They just popped into my head today. I haven't done them probably in like 12, 13 years before I ever owned a gym, before I even moved to the gym I was at before this one. It's been a little while. I'm still really out of breath. So those were very tough. I was able to get them all. Very, very difficult movements. The alternating dumbbell curls, very happy that I stayed at the 30 pounds because, again, very tough because this was tougher and this was tougher and these were tougher. Even though this was the same weight, ouch, it hurt. My arms were burning when I was doing those. Felt that big like bodybuilder pump that I hate. Anxiety started going crazy because I'm thinking, oh my God, am I going to get hurt? And all this other stuff. Right on the money. I had thought about doing 35s before today. I'm glad I left it at 30. That's all it took. And then you saw me do my first set of the face pulls with the green and the orange band. Those really, really burnt at the end. Exactly where you're supposed to feel them, right near the tricep, right on the tricep tendons, right near the elbow. That is exactly where you're supposed to feel those, and man, were they burning. Much more difficult than last week and way more difficult than the first week. So nice progression week to week. Same thing with the tricep press downs. Use that green and orange band, 33, 33, 34. Got them all done as a superset, just like the previous weeks. But man, the addition of the extra band really, really smokes you. So overall, that's going to do it for us here, guys. I mean, that is 3 weeks, 4 days a week, not skipping anything. Nice gradual progressions. I feel like looking back on all the days, the squatting day, the benching day, the deadlift day, and today the leftover day, there was never a time where I had to decrease. There was never a time where I had to take a step back. If you start smart, if you start with an appropriate amount of weight, you can build up every single week. And if you do that gradually, kind of an idea of taking 3 steps forward and then 1 or 2 steps back, and then 3 steps forward and then 1 or 2 steps back, and then 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 steps back. You're never going to fatigue. You're never going to burn out. You're always going to be able to make progress, especially if you're changing exercises, being very smart, not trying to go too crazy, not letting your ego take over. If you select exercises that you know are going to be difficult for you, you know that they are going to be a challenge, but you know they're going to help you to avoid injury and build up weakness and get stronger, that is exactly the recipe that you want. I say it all the time, and I'll leave you with this. Every grandma out there has their perfect, secret, favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe. Some recipes use a little bit more vanilla. Some recipes use a little bit more chocolate chips. Some recipes use a little bit more sugar. But if you lay out 20 different chocolate chip cookies on the table and you let a bunch of 4- and 5-year-olds in the room, they're not going to care what the recipe is. They're not going to care what chocolate chip cookie has that 1 or 2 more chocolate. All they see is cookies, and they run and they grab the cookies and nom, 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 nom. That's like your muscles. Your muscles don't care. Your muscles understand that you're working. They break down and they build back up. That's all they know how to do. You put in the effort, they do respond, and they build back up if you're training correctly. So you don't have to go crazy. There's no secret recipe. There's no hidden thing. There's no one weird trick like you always see in these videos online. One weird trick to build more muscle. One weird trick to squat more. It's hard work. It's good programming, proper progressions, making sure you're not going to get hurt, making sure the selections that you make aren't too difficult, making sure you can jump a little bit every week in a 3-week wave, and then resetting back to week 1 with maybe 1 additional change, doing it all over again. Back to week 1, another little change, do it over again. And those small changes every 3 weeks are going to make a huge, huge difference in the way that you train, in your strength, in your conditioning, and your power. So great recipe for you guys. You don't have to follow it week by week exactly like I have. You need to select the exercises that work best for you. You need to select your own secret recipe of workouts that are going to help you out the most and correct your weakness and avoid your injuries. But if you do it right, if you take it slow and steady, you are going to have a massive, massive increase in strength and size and power and be ready for next season, because there is going to be a next season. It might not be this spring. It's definitely not going to be the spring. It might not be the summer, but indoor season next year, spring season 2021, you guys are going to have a season. You need to be ready, and this is the best way of getting back in the weight room and getting ready to attack the circle next season.